turn it over to Rocco and Richard. We have a great interview coming up. Rocco Pasafumi, Part 2, with Richard Sir Giovanni. It's a great project. We're all excited about it. They had an interview 2 weeks ago. That was the first half, and the second half is now. I present Rocco Pasafumi and Richard Sir Giovanni.
Thank you very much, Howie. Welcome back, Richard.
Thank you.
Just touching briefly, for those of us who are not familiar with it, talk about this project right here. It is called The Grimps. It is a cartoon, and I will let you give us the synopsis of that.
Grimps is a half-hour animated rock and roll TV show that I created in the midst of developing its sale for a network television show. It's about these cartoon characters, Winston, Maximus, and Mooney. They were mentioned over 500 years ago, and the person I meet that was jealous of them and turned them into these ugly until their friend found a temporary spell that turned them back to humans, but only sunset and sunrise. And the show takes place in present time, and we have the trials and tribulations of these funny characters in the heart of the secrets of the world, and at the same time trying to become international pop stars and hiding all the crazy and wacky things. And every episode is going to promote a positive message for the kids, and it's going to introduce a new original song, which is going to have a theme that is going to tie into the positive message. So that's just a brief synopsis of what's to come.
Thank you very much for that. And we did do our previous interview. If you want to check that out, go on the Halftime Howie Show Facebook page. In regards to your theme of the show being about rock and roll, you know, and particularly the Beatles, one of the most iconic acts of all time, one of the disciples of the Beatles, Gene Simmons, one of the members of Kiss, he actually made an interview not too long ago. He actually said that that he feels that rock music is kind of on the way out in pop music, that pop music's changed a lot. You know, music's more synthetic now. It's more driven by country music and R&B and electronic house. And, you know, a lot more electronic elements are in music now. What say you to that statement that rock is pretty much is like it's dying basically?
Well, I totally disagree with him. Rock and roll in 1955 was Elvis Presley. Rock and roll in 1964 was the Beatles. Rock and roll in 1970 was Led Zeppelin. In the 90s it was Nirvana. All it is that rock and roll, the terminology of what the music was, has changed and evolved. The Beatles were instrumental in taking rock and roll music or pop culture music and going into 100 directions. And country western music became popular, and electronic music. And I just think it's just in a transition and it's in a change. Electronic music has been around for 40 years or better. Country music has been around longer than ever. The country artists today have just modernized it. I think it's great, but I don't think rock and roll is dead. I just think that it's going through a change, a transition. Different artists, and the Grimps are going to be one of them. They're going to be presenting original music. We make an effect on that as well.
Yes, I agree. There's definitely plenty of hope for that. You know, because you know when young kids they see something, you know they don't look at it like, oh, this is something that my parents or my grandparents liked. You know, they just say, oh, this looks cool. I mean, take case in point, we have the top single in the country right now. It's been the #1 single for 2 weeks. Is a song called "All About That Bass" by Meghan Trainor. It's, you know, it's a song about basically about loving yourself and, you know, despite being fat. But it also, if you listen to the song, it's very familiar sounding. Has a '60s pop element, very Leslie Gore. So, I mean, it definitely speaks to the, you know, the idea that once what was old once can be new again. I mean, also you have Amy Winehouse, of course, naturally, right?
Oh, absolutely. Amy Winehouse is a great talent. It's sad that we don't have her anymore. But exactly, the music now is just a transition. We get new young artists. You find out about, you know, the past. I'm amazed how many young kids still know the Beatles 50 years later. And they'll make an effect on them, because some of those kids will become pop stars themselves. And they will remember that a great song is a great song, and a great artist takes that great song and they bring it into today's world.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us once again. The cartoon is called The Grimps. The website is at www.thegrimps.com. And if you, like I said, catch more of the interview from the previous couple weeks ago on the Halftime Howie Show Facebook page. And thank you very much.
Thank you. Find us on Facebook and Twitter. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, great job. Let's give it up for Richard Sergiovanni and Rocco Passafume. All right, coming break, we have Joe Satriano and Gina Calabrese with some more great stuff. Coming to you live from the Gran Paradiso. I am Halftime Howie. This is broadcasting on the beach with Halftime Howie on Long Island's first and oldest station, AM 1240, WGEV.